I just wanted to get some clarification because we did get the brief from you, but we did not get the Attorney General's original views on the matter. So the question, Madam Speaker, is whether or not we're going to get that, and probably you can give us a commitment to that. And there were some members last week who had wanted to do some interventions on the matter, and I think you had signaled to them that you'd allow it at this time.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but this matter, I have sat here and heard this many times. If the Attorney General's statement, the Attorney General's opinion was sent to the Speaker, to the Speaker. I'm not too sure. The Attorney General is the lawyer for the government, not for the Parliament. If the Speaker asks for an opinion from an attorney, doesn't even have to be the Attorney General. It's a matter for the Speaker whether the Speaker wants to share it with the House. With due respect, but let me just finish. Could I finish, please? The House has a legal officer, and I saw the comments of the legal officer, and I think it was circulated to everyone. The Attorney General's opinion or contribution or brief is a matter for the Speaker. Whether the Speaker, the Attorney General, with due respect, is not the Attorney for Parliament. Right? Now, the last Speaker, I understand, asked for an opinion from the Attorney General. A Speaker. The new Speaker can take it, and the new Speaker can determine whether or not she shares it with the Parliament. It's a matter totally for her. And may I just say one thing? You know, I've been sitting down watching the to and fro. I was a former Speaker. The Speaker of the House rulings are final. If we have a dispute with the rulings, we go back to the standing order, or in the case of the IC, we go back to the IC and change them. Parliament can do that, or the standing committee can change the committee. But I don't think it is appropriate, what I have been seeing, interrogating the Speaker in this House. Asking the Speaker, why are you not doing this? When you're going to share opinion? And if the Speaker does not provide it, that's the end of the matter. It is the end of the matter if the Speaker doesn't provide it. Because the ruling of the Speaker is final. And I can tell you, as a former Speaker who have conversed with Speakers across the Commonwealth, there are always Parliament, and they disagree with Speakers. But at the end of the day, they respect the ruling of the Speaker, and that's the end of the matter. I mean, you know, I've not said it before, but I am saying it now. It could be partisan as much as you like, but the position is, this ruling and the position of the Speaker is final. You want it, let's face it, you know. We can go back, and Member Robinson is on the Integrity Commission that looking at the Joint Select Committee. You want to change it and say how it must be done? You go there and we change it. The standing order, you want to change it at the Standing Order Committee, everything can be changed. All of that, disputes with the Speaker, you change it at those committees. But it doesn't look good for you to be interrogating the Speaker inside the Parliament. You undermine the integrity of the Speaker when you start interrogating her in this case. It's not good. Not good. And I would say, Madam Speaker, let's move on. Announcement.
Announcements? No. No. Do you have a point of order? No, you do not. I was at statement by ministers, and this discussion is actually not on the agenda on the statement by ministers. That was a House leader. That was a House leader.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Thank you for my point of order relates to the acting House leader imputing motive in relation to comments from this side, which I believe to be totally out of order. Let me say, Madam Speaker, this issue arose where I, as a member, challenged the former Speaker on a ruling she made. She indicated she would seek the advice of the Attorney General on the matter, right? Having sought the opinion of the Attorney General, she didn't do so in a private capacity. She sought it because there was a dispute about how matters of this nature should be dealt with. Now, having made a ruling, which you have, right, you should share with us the opinion of the Attorney General so that we can understand the thinking behind the ruling. We have seen the Parliamentary Legal Counsel, right? And that Parliamentary Legal Counsel has a right to opine. But we have an opinion from the government's chief legal advisor, and that opinion should be shared with us. The decision that you have made goes against years of convention of how matters should be dealt with in the House. Now, having done that, I am saying, share with us the thinking, the advice provided by the Attorney General, so we can understand the conclusion that you have come to. And I don't agree that the fact that people have raised questions that the acting House leader would consider it challenging the Speaker. These are fundamental issues about how the Parliament operates. And in that regard, we have a right to know what the opinion is. And that is what we are asking. And that opinion has not been shared.
Thank you, Member.
House Leader. House Leader. Thank you. I have been observing the commentary, Madam Speaker, over the last several weeks. And as someone who has some cursory understanding of how government works, the opinions, you will have a cursory understanding very shortly as well. The opinions of the Attorney General was requested by the Speaker of the House, not by the opposition. The legal advisor to the Parliament is the Parliamentary Council. You have absolutely no obligation, Madam Speaker, to share an opinion from the Attorney General to the government, to the opposition. You may do it because of your good nature, but you have no such obligation. And we have been subjected as a country to some very disgusting and inappropriate commentary by members of the opposition about the integrity and good sense of the Speaker, and I don't believe that this House should tolerate it. I do not believe they have sought to caricature. Hold on. You can say anything where you want to say. They have sought to caricature the Speaker as hiding. They have sought to caricature the Speaker as hiding reports. They have gone on national television and radio to make the public believe.
Hold on. Press again, press again. Press your mic again, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On a point of order, I rise because the member is misleading the House about what has been said on this side. And I believe that that is very unparliamentary. and I am really beneath you at this time. It should be withdrawn because you know that is absolutely not true.
Madam Speaker, the simple point I'm making is that the opinions of the Attorney General are not the opinions to the opposition. They are the opinions to the government. The opinion of the Parliamentary Council, the opinions of the Parliamentary Council are the opinions that can be tabled in the House. You have absolutely no obligation to share the opinion of the government's legal advisor with the opposition. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think we have heard enough. We have heard enough. We need to move on. Madam Speaker.
I think the speakers recognize me, actually. I think the speakers recognize me.
Let the opposition leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Speak.
Madam Speaker, the tradition in this House is that the Speaker is an umpire of the proceedings of Parliament. By convention, when the person to be elected Speaker is nominated by the governing side, the opposition side seconds that appointment. And that is what happened in your case. So when a Speaker seeks an opinion from the Attorney General, the Speaker does so as the umpire of Parliament in the capacity as Speaker of this House. And the context in which that opinion was sought was a matter that had been raised and was of some contention as to how these reports would be treated when they come to Parliament. It is in that context that the opinion was sought from the Attorney General. Having received that opinion, the right and transparent thing to do would be to share it with the members of Parliament. The members of Parliament. Everyone here on both sides, whether you're government or opposition, is neither here nor there. It is an opinion that was rendered on an important procedural matter affecting the governance of this country and its Parliament. And we have a right as members of Parliament to know the contents of that opinion and whether or not the reasoning is sound as to how the change has been implemented, as to how these reports are to be treated with. And in response to Minister, acting leader or House leader for today, I would also make the point that you have not made a ruling on the issue as to whether or not the Attorney General's opinion should be shared with us. You did not rule on that matter. We have been requesting it over time. You have been indicating that it wasn't ready or you were still reviewing it, and that is why our leader of opposition business today raised it again to say, can we see it? Because we would like to see it. My understanding is that it actually says that the prior convention was sound in law. There was nothing in the law that made it wrong for those reports to be tabled as soon as they come to Parliament. And if that is the case, why are we departing from a sound convention that is in the interest of good governance and transparency? And why would anyone want to hide the advice that the Speaker is relying on in making a ruling that affects all of us in here? It is not good policy. It is not good governance. And I ask you, Madam Speaker, as the umpire of proceedings in this House, to consider the matter in that light and to share the opinion with us, and also to consider whether we should not go back to the convention that has served this country well. Thank you, Madam.
Madam Speaker, it's, I can't believe that the leader of the opposition can, as a lawyer, can make these points. The Speaker can always seek advice, as the Speaker has done in asking for the advice of the Attorney General, and having received the advice of the Attorney General, the Speaker makes a ruling and that ruling is final. To ask what is in the Attorney General's advice to allow the Speaker to make the advice. Indeed, Madam Speaker, the advice of the Attorney General, Chambers can be easily dismissed by the Speaker. Because, and if you need to learn. You need to learn. Members of the opposition, the Speaker is not always right. The Speaker is not always right, but the ruling is always final. Whether right or wrong, the ruling is always final. And so the Speaker having used or have the advice of the Attorney General, she doesn't have to share it. Yes. End of the matter. Can we move on, please, Speaker?
Members, please order in the House. I will read again one statement made in the ruling last week. If you review the sitting of the House, July 4, 2023, you will see that Member Robinson was at pains to advise the former Speaker that the Attorney General advises the government or the executive and does not advise the Parliament. The opinion sought by the Attorney General, from the Attorney General by the Speaker, is for the guidance of the Speaker in coming to a determination. As I indicated, it does not absolve the Speaker from clearly understanding the legislation. The Speaker would have gone even further than the Attorney General in reviewing the records of Hansard, both from the Senate and the House in respect of their deliberations on the matter. The Speaker would have gone further, as also recommended by Member Robinson to the former Speaker, that one wondered whether the Parliamentary Legal Counsel was consulted. In my ruling last week, I ensured the House clearly understood that all the documents submitted from the Attorney General, all the correspondence from the former Speaker, all the correspondence from the Auditor General were passed to the Parliamentary Legal Counsel. Notwithstanding all of that effort, ultimately the Speaker has a duty to the people of the country as well as the Parliament to ensure that the ruling is sound in law. The ruling of the Speaker is in keeping with the law and the standing orders of this Parliament. The ruling of the Speaker is not inconsistent with the law. So when there are issues that arise in the Parliament that come to blows from different members of the House, it causes the Speaker to have to look closer at the law and the standing orders which govern us within the House and make a ruling. And that was done. In the ruling, I said the opinion of the Parliamentary Legal Counsel, which considered all correspondence between the Parliament, the Attorney General, and the Auditor General, is available for your perusal. I went further to ask the Parliament to email to every member of the House the ruling and the opinion of the Parliamentary Legal Counsel. You are currently, as a Parliament, in the process of going through a review of the said Integrity Commission Act in a joint select committee of the entire Parliament, meaning both the Senate and the House, both the government and the opposition side. That is your opportunity as legislators to fix anything that you had wanted to be said differently. This Speaker has ruled in keeping with exactly how the law is worded. Equally, the following day, a member moved a motion so that also at the standing orders level, at that committee level, the members of the House can decide how you want to amend going forward the entire membership. The members of the House, all committees within the House are a reflection of the House. And all committees within the House need to be understood, members. They are the workhorse of the Parliament. That is where we are supposed to dig very deep, interrogate and argue issues. There are no reports at all in contention that have not been laid and properly laid. Not one report has come that has not been laid up to today. And this has been the case for weeks. Members, respectfully, the ruling is settled and you have recourse through the standing orders if you so desire. House Leader.